ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special episode of That Nerdy Web Show. I'm your host, Dimix, and tonight we have a special guest. We have Algar.
Whee!
Yeah, there you go.
And as for our regular cast, we have Andrew.
Hey, first episode in a few months. Woo!
And we have Patrick, who suddenly disappeared for a long-ass time.
It's your boy.
Word, homie, G skillet, dog.
Oh my god.
Tonight is going to be a somewhat short episode. We're going to cut it about by 30 minutes, so it's going to be a somewhat short episode. So tonight we're going to interview Algar on how it is to be a badass chiptune DJ.
So I'm going to be completely honest. It took me forever to figure out that there were two different Algars on the internet, and both of them make music. I've been listening to the wrong songs for like the past 30 minutes going, yeah, this guy's getting pretty good, and then I realized he was even better, so, you know.
Who is the other one, I wonder?
I don't even know. I saw like two of them on YouTube, and that was about it. They sounded sort of
like
Middle Eastern. They weren't chiptunes, no, but they were very electronic. Sort of Middle Eastern influenced, I think.
Hmm.
Okay, Andrew, did you want to start off with asking him questions?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
I know your most recent EP is very video game based, but did it always have video games in mind whenever you were making music?
Well, I guess I've always had video games in mind, like subconsciously or something, because I have played a lot of video games when I was a little kid, and you know, like your childhood, it really affects you a lot, really subconsciously and stuff. So,
Oh yeah.
I guess I've always had video games in mind at some level, but it's not like I try to make music that sound like a video game or something like that. It's not like I consciously want to, you know, copy a video game soundtrack or something like that. But
Okay, that's interesting. Because I know that's like the first thing that I did whenever I started picking up chiptunes is that I'm like, hey, I'm going to write down a video game soundtrack that I already know because it's easy practice, but you know. So you didn't start out like that?
No, I guess not, actually.
Okay.
No, it's nothing like that. It's more like subconscious inspiration or something like that from video games, I guess.
Right.
It's not like I'm trying to sound like other video game soundtracks.
Basically, you're just trying to make your own sound.
Exactly, yeah.
You could say that.
How long have you been making chiptune music?
Wow, I guess I started out when I was like 10 or 11 years old, and now I'm 25, so...
So, 15 years.
Yeah, kind of 15 years, but yeah, 15 years.
Back on the old 1990s computers, that's going to be terrible.
I was not really good when I was, you know...
Well, not because of your skill level even, just because the software back then must have been really difficult to navigate.
Or you're vaguely limited to what you can use.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was kind of decent software back then. Like
Okay.
Fast Tracker 2, I don't know if you are familiar with that kind of software, I don't know.
I know a few of them.
Yeah, but there was one program called Fast Tracker 2 that was, wow, back in the day, that was the shit. Yeah. But like I said, you know, when I was 10 years old, my music wasn't really, it was really bad. You know, I didn't know shit about making music.
That I could
Kind of.
believe.
Well, well, starting off, I'm guessing, yeah, I mean, you were just probably like, oh, this is new to me, and basically, it's like, in order to succeed, you gotta have you sometimes gotta have a little bit of failure.
Oh, yeah. You really do have to start off simple whenever it comes to music. For someone who's failed at the clarinet for like so many years before now, it sounds terrible whenever you first start out. I cringe going back and watching home movies just because of it.
And yet you still cannot play Careless Whisper on the at all.
I can play Careless Whisper. Have you not heard me play Careless Whisper?
No. Okay. Well, what video games did you actually like? What video games inspired you to like come up with your own tracks?
Hard question, but I kind of grew up with the games I played the most were for Super Nintendo and I guess Nintendo 64.
Mm-hmm.
And it was those consoles that I was so into them, you know. And I really liked Super Metroid for Super Nintendo. Have you played it?
Right. Yes.
Yes, it is a very memorable game, but I also remember raging a lot at it.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good game, but it's not perfect.
Easy way to get lost.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, but I was very young when I played it, and wow, I remember the experience of it. And all the games, Mega Man X, I remember as well for Super
Right.
Nintendo, and of course all the Super Mario games. It was really a powerful experience to play all these games when I was young, you know, and then.
And just getting that thrill after you like completed a game, be like, yeah, I beat a game.
Yeah.
What am I going to do now?
Spend more money. Spend more money.
Yeah, it's not like now where like if you beat a game like a few weeks later, oh look, DLC to make the game longer. No,
Yeah.
you kind of get stuck.
Well, I mean, you say that, but at the same time, something like Metroid, whereas obviously the game wasn't padded because it's actually a legit game, I do feel like Metroid's biggest sin is that it makes some very stupid decisions, and some things legitimately don't make any sense.
In what way?
Yeah,
No, I'm saying like Super Metroid, like it's like it has a terrible. No, actually no. Let me be more clear. It doesn't explain anything to the point where it's like some of the stuff you have to figure out. This is the problem with some old games. There's no way most people can figure that out on their own without, reading a guide, like buying the Prima guide or whatever. Or asking.
Right.
And that's really frustrating. I mean, and mind you, I was able to forgive the game for some of it because I know how that's what Metroid is. Like, it makes you lost. Except towards the end of the game, there was one part I was stuck on that I just couldn't understand it. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm just gonna, swallow my pride and look it up. When I looked it up, / talked to people, apparently you had to use a power bomb in a room with a glass tube because apparently the power bomb would destroy the glass tube. At no point had the game established you could do that. That was the only time in the game you did that. The game broke its own rules, and how was I ever going to figure that out? Mind you, this is a point in the game where every map is accessible. How was I supposed to know? I was supposed to go to that specific glass tube and use a power bomb on it. I would have been playing the game for hours before I would have even thought of that. And even then, I wouldn't have thought to use the power bomb on that specific room. Like, it's stuff like that whereas I appreciate how good Super Metroid is, stuff like that just like annoys me because it's like there is no way I would have figured that out on my own. Like, I would have been stuck on this game forever.
You remember that like it was yesterday. Wow.
Actually, the main part of the game was to explore. And
here we go. No.
No, but no, you're right. And for the most part, that's true. There's so many parts of the game where you can get by exploring, but the thing is, I feel like the only reason I was able to play Super Metroid properly is because I knew all of Super Metroid's rules. Because I've played Fusion and Zero Mission, so I know that the game is like you have to shoot certain walls, use bombs on certain like parts of the floor or whatever. Like, but if I hadn't have known that, I wouldn't have figured that out. And as I said, I got all the way to that one part of the game. This is like the 70% 70% waypoint of the game, right? I cleared everything. I had been super patient with the game. But Josh, you cannot justify this part of the game with no explanation. Use a power bomb, something that couldn't be power bombed normally, And the game doesn't tell you that, and it's in this one specific part of the level that you don't even know about. There's zero indication that you could have done that. That's the only time it happens in the game, and it never happens again. Games break their own rules like that, and that really bothers me. When a game it adds a new rule that it never established before, no, that's bad game design. I'm just gonna come out and say that is bad game design. Games can randomly insert their own rules whenever they want. Like that's not good. Like how is anyone supposed to figure that out?
I don't know, but we're kind of jumping off topic here.
We're trying not to crack up because. Okay, so how about that interview, guys? Good interview. Good interview.
Wait, we're not done yet. Like I said before we started the episode, how did it feel to be on DJ Cutman's This Week in Chiptune, like as him playing your latest album on a stream of like I think it was like a few thousand people?
Yes, of course that feels great. It always feels nice when people like message me and ask, hey, can I use your music? Can I include your music in this? Can I include your music in that? Can I use your music in this? Get honored when I get those questions, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And when DJ Catman asked me that, of course, it makes me really happy and proud and everything. But like I said before to you, I don't know very much about this DJ Catman. But I know his name, but I didn't know that he was so famous, really. But now that I know that, then it makes me even more happy.
In certain parts of the world, also known as Josh's house, he is very, very famous.
Also known as Josh.
Oh, come on.
Okay, he is very notable in the community.
Yeah.
But
you forgot about my car too. I play him in my car.
that's true. Okay, so who was the most interesting person you've met in the music world?
Wow, that's That was a really hard question, actually.
Haha.
Whoa.
10 points.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Okay, let's roll a few then, if any. Or even
I can't
just like
think of anyone.
no people that you know online or that you just are really good friends with in the business.
Of course, I have some friends, like in the Swedish chiptune community. I have some friends,
Right.
of course. But when you ask me about the most interesting person,
Right. Yeah.
like I've never had this meeting with a person from the chiptune community that is like, whoa, this person is so cool, wow. Not in the music community specifically that I can think of, actually.
Well, what about famous people in like general?
Famous people general.
Yeah, let's just broaden the subject range until you can think of something so that we don't look like idiots later.
Yeah. I have no idea. Famous people in general. I can't come up with anything. Right.
That's fine.
Right
That's
now,
fine.
actually.
Besides like, crap, I can't.
Words.
I know what I want to say. I'm trying to say words.
You need to. Here, I'll distract the audience. Hello, everybody. How's the weather over there today? It's sunny over
Andrew,
here. Partly cloudy, 73 degrees.
Andrew.
Okay.
This is not the damn Weather Channel.
Well, we need to do something. Okay. Come on, Josh. Sentence.
What kind of equipment do you use? I know in the chiptune community, some some people use a Super Nintendo, some people use a regular Nintendo, some people use Game Boys, and I've even seen somebody use an N64, even though I never knew it was possible. But what do you use as your equipment?
Well, mostly I use my computer actually, mostly, and I have a MacBook, like, and I use that mostly. But I also make music on Game Boy, and I really enjoy making music on the Game Boy because it feels kind of special, and it's really cool to like you can carry the Game Boy so easily. You can sit on the train and make music, just your headphones, your Game Boy, and it's really portable. You know, it's amazing, and the sound you can make with the Game Boy, it's amazing. You can make such fat beats and stuff with the Game Boy. It's amazing actually. But mostly I actually use my computer and a bunch of different softwares, trackers and Logic and yeah,
Any
different
favorite
kind of
trackers?
software on the computer. What did you say?
Do you have any favorite trackers that you use?
My favorite tracker, I think it's Milky Tracker.
Okay.
Milky Tracker and Renoise as well. Those are, I
I've
think,
heard of the
these
second one there.
are the most used today, I think, because they work with the modern computers. Like Fast Tracker 2 that I used back in the day, it doesn't work on the modern operating systems. You have to have like Windows 2000 or Windows XP. And yeah, if you try it on Windows Vista, then it won't work, I think. So yeah.
Okay.
So Milky Tracker and Renoise they are kind of up to date, and you can run them on modern computers. So that's why they're good.
So what would you say is your biggest inspiration for your tracks?
Hmm. Like I said before, I don't really know. I am convinced that I get my inspiration like subconsciously or something like that. I it I don't really, when I hear a song, I don't try to, if I hear a good song, I don't feel like, yeah, I want to make a song that sounds like this one. I want to make a track that sounds like Avicii or Swedish House Mafia. I want to make a track that sounds like the Metroid soundtrack. I want to make a track that sounds like Super Mario or stuff like that. So I don't think that I'm inspired in that way, that I really, when I hear something, that I want to emulate the sound and make something that sounds like other songs. I don't think I do that.
Okay.
I think subconsciously I'm really inspired by, video game soundtracks from Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 and Nintendo as well. And in particular, like I said before, the Super Metroid soundtrack, Mega Man X, and all the Mario games. And I really liked Donkey Kong 64. I really enjoyed the soundtracks from that game.
Right.
Well, that's actually something you don't hear every day, because usually a lot of people are like, "Oh, Donkey Kong 64 was a horrible game," but
I love that game. Wow.
in my opinion, I do too, because it even though some people are like bashing on it so much, I mean, you have to give them props.
Well, why are they bashing on it? Do you
Oh,
know?
because they didn't like the fact that it was like somewhat open world.
So it's Legend of Zelda, and that was highly praised.
Well, I mean, I think it's because at the time,
Mm.
especially with the limited technology, people weren't a fan of how it played. Like, I mean, I can see why
Like,
they didn't like it, to be
like
honest. I get it.
because that was the first time they actually did the whole overhead view thing with Donkey Kong, because they were more used to Donkey Kong being like side scroller.
Right. Donkey Kong Country is huge
Yeah,
in that area.
but then if you look at it now, they kind of went back to being a side scroller, but that's Donkey Kong Country. This is Donkey Kong 64,
Right.
not Country. So
Mm.
yeah. Um,
That game was amazing, actually. I really loved it when it was new. It was so, like you said before about Super Metroid, the exploration. In Donkey Kong 64, it was so much to explore, different kind of worlds and environments. I really enjoyed that, and it was yeah,
um,
it was a good game, and the music was amazing. I thought.
oh, yes, indeed. Um, what was some of the inspiration for you, like the name of your tracks?
Hmm. The name of my tracks. I usually just it
Just
just pops up somehow, you know. You know,
so basically, like it
when
just
I
comes
hear
up.
the song, I just try to spontaneously. Okay, what will be a good name for this song spontaneously? And then if the song makes me happy, then maybe the name will be Happy Holidays or whatever.
Okay.
So
I'm
just
looking at one in particular that I had really sort of caught on to. But
yeah,
leaving this world tonight,
uh,
is there any
yeah,
special meaning behind that one?
yeah. I got kind of that feeling when I listen to that song. It's kind of I got some kind of like melancholic feeling or something like that. Like yeah, I don't like I want to leave this world.
Okay.
Something like that when I heard it, and I really felt that that name was spot on or something like that.
Right.
I just got that feeling, spontaneously, and that's how I usually name my tracks.
Interesting.
Indeed.
Hey.
uh,
Why?
I was being earnest, you guys. Don't make fun of me.
well, we're not trying to. It's just so easy to do.
Oh, I thought we were trying. I thought we were trying to sound rich. Like,
You guys are jerks.
Indeed.
yeah, but we're not really jerks, Patrick. We just have a weird way of
We're just
showing.
jerks.
Well,
yeah.
We just have a weird way of showing that we love you in a non-homosexual way.
Very descriptive.
fair enough. But I mean, I guess that's interesting. The reason why I was asking what gave you inspiration for your music is because, I mean, as someone who doesn't make music myself, I've always wondered, like, how do people come up with music in the first place? Like, that's always intrigued me personally.
Hmm. Yeah, I can answer that one for myself. For me, I just have this music in my head, like maybe not all the time, but kind of all the time. I have always had music in my head, and I just want to get it out. It's crazy, but that's how it is for me. I have music in my head, and I want to get it out. It's simple as that for me.
Basically,
Maybe, yeah. Maybe it does. It's not that way for everyone, maybe, but
Yeah.
for me, it's that way. I have music in my head, and I just have to get it out somehow.
That's cool.
It's true for a lot of composers. Like, have you ever had any really bad moments, like you've woken up at like 3 o'clock in the morning or something, and just felt the need to sit down with, I don't know, your computer or something and get it out?
Yep, yep. I love and hate when that happens. It's really music can really keep me up at night and wake me up early in the morning and
Oh.
destroy my body and stuff like that. It,
Wow.
oh, I know that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've had it once or twice. You just want to go back to bed, but at the same time you can't.
I've had that experience about once or twice too, but that's how we came up with the web show, and that's how we came up with our gaming
No
gaming
kidding.
thing. We're coming up with yeah.
I mean, I would say for me, since I make like combo videos and like gameplay like compilation videos and stuff on YouTube, and for me, it's not so much like I have I'm inspired to make what's his name? Obviously I don't make music, but for me it's like when I hear a certain song from like a game or an anime or a movie or whatever, I instantly imagine how it would fit into a video I could make. And sometimes I'm sitting on certain songs for months on end thinking, oh, it would be perfect for this video. Most of the time I do end up putting in a video. And I think for me it's like because I make a lot of videos, like I can hear something and think, oh, this could make a really awesome song. Like that's just how I work, I guess.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Make an awesome video. Sorry, not an awesome song. I just said song.
Um,
Wow, that's creativity. You're creative, and that's great. Wow,
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
amazing.
I don't know. I think it's like obviously I don't know how to make like music or anything, and I don't have like original ideas for stuff. But I guess one of the biggest inspirations like for me when it comes to videos is like trailers. Like I feel like if someone were to ask me, oh, what is your video style most like, I would say like trailers. Like it's this whole kind of excitement of seeing these rapid shots of different things happening and really cool things and has like an introduction and transitions and stuff like that. Like I would say movie trailers were like the biggest inspiration for like just my video style. So that's why when I hear a song, I instantly think, oh, this could be really sick in this video with this game or whatever. But obviously,
Yeah.
it's like if I could make my own music on top of that, that would be really cool.
Hey, one per video, Josh. One per video.
wait,
Uh,
what? What do you mean one per?
Nothing, nothing. I'm
I mean,
sorry, I heard something.
I didn't say nothing.
you think Josh is
I
awesome?
I am hearing voices.
Oh my god.
Get them out of my head. Get them out of my head. Okay, onwards and upwards.
Um, anybody else got any other questions? Ask them.
I'm sort of trying to think. Like, honestly, the biggest thing that we came up with was what's the weirdest time that you've had inspiration for a song? I sort of want to know about that.
Uh,
The weirdest time.
Yeah, because I mean, for me, it's like there have been times when I'm just in the shower and all of a sudden, hey, there's a song idea. Why can't I bring my computer in here? This is the worst possible time.
Hilarious.
yeah, and then you walk out the shower and be like, crap, what was I thinking again?
Exactly.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, in the shower, of course, that
Yep.
happens a lot. Yeah. And I like before going to sleep, I really want to sleep, and then it pops up some melody or something that I really have to write down, and I want to sleep so badly, but then I just have to get this melody down. I hate that, and I love that as well. It's
Right.
and yeah, and when you're like in a conversation with a human being, and then this music comes into your head, but you're in the conversation at the same time, and it's really annoying and distracting. It's like I'm in two worlds, and the music world is like calling for me, like, come here, come here. and and I want to have a conversation, but I can't. It's really
Right.
it's weird, actually. I sound like a madman, but maybe I
No,
am.
not really. I fully understand it because I mean the reason why I say I can relate to you is because for me I write like video game articles and I make videos and for me it's a similar thing where it's like you're just doing something normal and then you have an idea and you instantly think, oh god, I want to do that right now, or at least I want to write it down before I forget. So I definitely understand in that regard.
Yeah. It's just the creative process. Like, I'm sure artists go through the same thing, cartoonists, video makers, anyone could end up doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, not just that, it's including that a lot of people are kind of feeling like how for example, as of right now, a lot of people are actually staying away from doing animation because if you look at it, animation as of right now is kind of like there's kind of like no demand for a
Well, it's
new
not that there's no demand, it's that the YouTube algorithm doesn't support it as much anymore.
yeah,
But that's a different story for a different time. I'm not going to go too deep into that one.
yeah, but if you look at it now, back when animation was up, chiptune was down. But if you look at it now, it's kind of like vice versa. Chiptune is up, animation is like down.
Yeah, especially with the addition of live stream. I had no idea that would take off so quickly, that people would be making music live for people to watch while while they're actually mixing and reorienting the music.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that was going to take off.
I mean, I think, do you know what it is? A lot of people say, like, some of my friends have the theory that a lot of the reason why so many things that used to be big on the internet pre-YouTube days aren't as big now is because of gaming. Not necessarily in a bad way, but in the sense that because of, like, the rise of gaming, Let's Plays, and just the popularity of it, like, stuff that used to be big on the internet doesn't have, not necessarily as much relevance, but rather it's like, people aren't as interested, and those who were interested, you know, are too old or have moved on. And most of the people who consume media nowadays are really young. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so you can't tell them about, like, oh, Newgrounds or this animation or, you know, this person, because they don't know about that. Like, they know about Let's Players and they know about, like, these big games and stuff like that.
It's true. Anyhow, we've reached the 30-minute mark. If you guys...
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask Algar one more question, and then we'll close it out here. Is that okay with you?
Sounds good with
Ask
me.
me anything.
Um, is there any like words of advice you would give to the younger generation that would be starting in chiptune?
Hmm. Yes. Yes. I would say just let the music flow, I guess. You know, don't get discouraged and just let it flow. It's it's so easy to get discouraged when if you're making music and you feel like, no, this doesn't sound good. No, that guy is so much better than me. That guy can make all these cool sounds, and I cannot do these cool sounds and stuff like that. Just fuck that shit, you know, and just keep on going and create, and just let the music flow all the time.
Okay.
That's yeah, that's my advice. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well, I think that's a good stopping point for this episode. Thank you, Algar, for coming on to the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Josh the Banana.
That's like, that sounds like some lost, like, cartoon character in an obscure part of the 90s.
We hope
Watch the
that
banana.
we hope to have you on again someday.
Yeah.
And anybody else have some closing words?
Yes, Super Metroid has stupid game design, even though people love that game, so I just wanted to reiterate that. Thank you.
Good day, everybody. Metroid sucks. Just thought you should know.
I didn't say it sucks, I'm saying it literally, it is an 8 out of 10 game, not literally, but like, it's an 8 out of 10 game that loses points from me only because of those stupid decisions. Otherwise, I think it's near perfect.
All right.
Basically, in your opinion, needs more Sonic.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Thank
Whoa. That got deep.
All right, good night, everybody.
Peace and love.